It's been raining in Northern California. It's been raining a lot. It has stripped everything down to bare rock and flipped a lot of the gravel for us. So we are out on a little adventure rock hounding. This is the quest for details. Let's go look for some rocks. Here we are. We're at a pretty awesome little location. This is Northern California, and we are on a bouldery little stream here. River, almost, as the season wears on. There's nobody around for miles, which is one of my favorite spots to hang out and check out. And we have all sorts of interesting minerals to look at. I think that we can probably find some little hidden treasures in amongst all this. It's looking like that type of stuff. So this is going to be a little rock wonder. So without any further ado, let's see what we can dig out of the gravel. Oh, look right here, the sandstone knob that we're standing on. There's got to be the bottom of something. It's got to be a bedrock that all these other loose rocks are piled on top of. So we're in a usually serpentine area. You know, serpentine bubbles up through everything else though. So I think somehow we're down to some layer of actual sandstone sedimentary rock that's been lifted up from where it was under the ocean, and where all of the other newer serpentine has bubbled up on top of it, this is actually sticking through. So that's cool. I don't know if any of that makes any sense. But we have a great mix here of all sorts of newer and older volcanic rocks. We have some shale right there. Hey, you know what's interesting about that is it's got mud lines on it. So you see those? The reason why that rock broke there is because in between each one of these layers of sedimentary rock, uh-oh, it's raining on us. Each one of these layers at one time was the surface of mud or sand, and when it was in that, on that surface, the waves came up or water came by and eroded those little divots that you see in it. So if you imagine that on a big old shore, it looks like the little water lines that you see like at a beach. And then the next layer of sand or mud got put on there, and so that actually got preserved and they'll actually break on those lines. So that's pretty cool. That's one of the features. It's kind of like a fossil. It's a fossil of the wave action working on the surface of that mud or sand way back then on that day. Here's the other half of it. And that means there could be anything stuck in there. Really fine little layers on that. Awesome. Wow. And that is bear poop. So as I come shoving in here and blundering along this creek, I need to realize that stand right up here by looks like a little wallow. I'm going to kind of go out of this area. Pay a little more attention. All we have around here is blackberries, and all the colors are washed clean for us from the recent rains. Oh yeah, look at that sandstone dike there. That would be something to go check out. It's made two different layers to the creek. And not turn our back to this little thing a whole bunch. Ooh, look at the reds and the blues in this piece of Jasper. Oh, the blue is that metallic stuff. And then the red of it. Swirling whirly world. Not bad. Well, this little channel here is deeper than it looks for sure. I don't know if we're going to get across that without... I got my cowboy boots on today. I don't know, jumping on slippery rocks without anybody there to film it. That could be deep. But there's the features of that. That's probably a cool swimming spot during the summer. It's eating little holes in it. Looks like very thick layers, like almost 2 foot thick layers of sandstone there. I think we'll work along here. This, yeah, right. That's the roots of that one tree. Boom. I think we'll go around. I'll see you there. Wow, look at this. This is either agate or a big piece of petrified wood of some sort. It really is. Oh, God, it's stuck in like clay mud. But do you see the fine lines in there? Okay, let me work on that. Well, in failing to remove that one, I went looking for other rocks downstream that resembled it, and yes, it is not actually what you consider an agate either, but it is swirled around. I want to get you some close-ups. That smashed my fingers off, because this is a, not sure how it's pronounced, a gneiss, G-N-E-S-I-S, gneiss, which is a rock that has been metamorphosized. It's been changed from whatever it was, and it was probably heat and pressure, and it makes it swirly, and this is just a great example of it. Look at these lines in it. And so this would look really cool cut because those lines go all the way through it. It's usually a little bit grainier than this, but I think that this counts, you know. You could, you know, technically it's so crystallized, it's been changed so much by the heat and pressure and bent in so many different swirls. And I feel like this was something that was changed, and it created the massive swirling that you see in this. It is a really awesome looking thing though, and so it's got big quartz chunks and stuff stuck in it. Yep, that's what I'm calling it, gneiss stone. I'm gonna have to have somebody actually help me pronounce someday. Wow, look at the size of this gob of Jasper. Look at the layers in there. That's intense. Now there is a stockpile of some red and yellow Jasper to haul home. Holy moly. Pinks, all kinds of stuff going on. Whew. Oh, it's a ways. I guess that's just a sandstone block. I see other pieces of it tumbled down. I also see it's on the other side of a fence there. Yeah, there's big blocks. We're back to the truck now. We're gonna go try some other spots, but that looks really cool. Wow, I see big megalithic blocks of sandstone. It would be fun to check those for carving and stuff, you know? Okay, dirty truck, rain on the lens. Let's move on down the road. We are stopped on the side of the road here. We're just looking through the sandstone at the crumble at the bottom because there's a lot of pieces that have fallen off of this. What do we have here? Oh, the last backpacker that got buried. Don't stand at the bottom of cliffs. Unless you're interested in rocks, then it's a good place to check stuff out and just watch your overhead. Yeah, a lot of different layers here. So, a lot of different chances for things to become stuck in them over time. And for us to get a look at that. Hey, I believe that's more actual wave action captured there. That fell out of there. And each one of these spaces we could pay attention to for fossils stuck in them. I'll let you know if I see any. Remember that this is just a slice of time going through this entire mountain range, so who knows if there was even living things near where this sediment was being laid down. But that's also how you find things, by getting out and making sure there isn't a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull sticking out of the cliff. More rubble. This is a chance to look through all the little pieces, and you need to slow down and really look in it like you were Noah on the Ark or something. You're looking for a single twig, because organic stuff tends to stick closer to shore or reefs and such where there is life. There are particles stuck in there. I'm not sure my bare eye right now if they are particles of other rocks or if they're plants, but we're going to slow down and look right in this area for anything like a twig or anything that you could tell was organic, seaweedy, connected to shore, connected to life. We get a lot of layers brought up that were brought up millions of years ago and piled onto the land here, and so there can be huge sections that were from the abysmal depths that never had any life in them to get stuck, or any organic things living around them to get stuck in them. Well, I did the goring off camera, but succeeded in finding what I feel like might be organic material stuck in there. Flat blades of something. Feeling like because it's larger particles, we're at least closer to the outlet of whatever was distributing this material. Because out in the deep ocean you get mostly just silt raining down, I believe. And here I'm seeing larger stuff. Okay. Made it down to another little spot, and we might as well just check every little knoll, because I've never been here and I didn't see any real signs that other humans had been either. Yeah, I think this is a really great season. I mean, it's cloudy, my nose is sniffly, but everything is washed so clean, and the water isn't over it yet. Wow. Yeah, everything's just in its most vivid color. Oh, yes. I have never seen the actual mother lode mass of stone that this comes out of, or even anything but the white tuff around here. But sure is cool. And see, there's a lot of it in here. I find it in a lot of the creeks and rivers in this part of California, but I've never stumbled up to the big cliff or roadside cut or anything of it, so it's kind of mysterious as it appears floating around in the beds, but you can't find it stuck on the side of the hill. I know that's where it's coming from. See, this is just all it. These have smaller patterns. I'm going to start trying to experiment coloring on these with watercolors. It feels kind of chalky, you know. I think that might be a cool thing to do. a Jasper with some real, oh, I don't know, vortexing little veins of quartz going through it. This might have also been heated a little bit and pushed into this shape. So you learn things way easier by using them. Most of us do. So memorizing all of this stuff is going to be a real pain. So what I want you to do is do what I'm doing right now and latch on to some facts. You know, open up a book on rocks or minerals. A little layered chunk of serpentine, but it came out very aesthetic. Liking that one. And back to what I was saying, go out and apply it, meaning, you know, take a drive, and while you're doing your normal rock hounding and looking around, hunt for, you know, exactly what you read about. And I know that might be hard to do, so I suggest doing local geology. You know, if you can, find some facts on the type of rocks around your area and the you know, the ancient geology of the place. That's what I'm doing. I'm reading books on how California was made and the rocks here specifically. So I'm not trying to learn everything about the planet. I'm trying to learn about what built the ground below me here. And then I take those facts, you know, walk around and trying to apply it, you know, try and see it, try and actually go, oh, so now rocks that I walked by before that had no aesthetic value or virtue to me are standing out because of their processes and their, you know, the ways that they became. And all of that will add together to make you a better prospector, a better rock hound. You'll be able to identify zones where you want to find your good stuff. So it's just a nice way to do it. You know, there's no pressure on us. So enjoy this, and that's how I suggest doing it, is bit by bit. Go ahead and go out and okay, that happened. Went back to the truck to get a battery, to get another battery and a backup battery, because this one just died on me. So we are back, hiked back down. Luckily we were near the beginning of our little adventure here. Look at this little piece of Chalcedony. A little layer. Raccoon prints. See him moving along here. Look how big the back feet are. That's a big old pad. Oh, did I say there was small black bears around here? I guess with the good fish supply. Oh Lord. Cow. Not cow. Man! Found some berries. Look at the seeds in there. I don't know, that's a size 13 Justin. And yeah, wow. Wouldn't say that was a small bear, but yeah, these might actually be his footprints. Hard to tell which one's a cow and which one's the bear making the dents. But they're basically trapped here because we're kind of in a little canyon, and yeah, it's, you know, it's a corridor. We're pushing through the willows with them. But we'll just do a bunch of loud talking, and that'll give them enough warning to move on. They don't eat people. That's not their favorite food or anything. They're not out here sitting in the bushes waiting to jump on my head like Mama Lion. Who might be. Yeah, 10 feet away. Somehow I'm in the middle of it here. Definitely. Definitely. Luckily this time of year most of the leaves are actually off the willows, so this isn't as bad as it would be pushing through the same spot in the spring, so let us remember that. And these are all berries, and you can see that they had their load on them. And for a late forager, we're not in snow country, so they don't tend to go to sleep. They just wander around. These were just food. You can see that's what he was eating, was she? But yeah, we were all bears once, right? Speaking of which, there you go. That's been shaped for sure. Just a little fleck that they popped off and then took into a crude shape to fling at something. But it's down here in the riverbed, so let's go find some more shiny rocks. We are definitely in the Beary area. The Beary area. The Beary area. Beary area. Beary area. Wow. Something sticking out there. I was gonna grab this. I thought it was awesome. And then I saw that. Don't let me forget the other thing over there. I don't think we're gonna carry this one, even though it is awesome. We have a long ways to go. And there's things like this sticking out. Oh, there's some Chalcedony. Mountain ranges and canyons. See the river coming down. There's even a waterfall in here probably. Uh-oh. There's this thing snapping branching. So, yeah. That was like the snap of coming down the other side type of deal. So, there's our out. Could be a cow wandering around down in here, but I don't know. I'm gonna do the same thing it would do. I'm gonna keep a big old open area between me and it, but I think we're walking out a different route to the truck probably than the way we came in. See these, somebody let bamboo loose and stuff too. It's just a perfect area. Whew. I was kind of over there with my back to the bushes when I heard the snapping of something like climbing down the bank into the river probably to come up here. As silly as it sounds, I want to finish checking this area. See that? That is this huge blackberry patch that was. I'm in its prime resource zone here. Okay, I'll keep you updated on this whole deal. The moment's building up to when the animal leaps out of the bushes. I'm telling you, you go to watering holes enough. Look at that. That is awesome. Prime example of many teeny tiny little fissures, cracks in the rock being filled in by Chalcedony. You can see how they grew from both sides. And then after they get to a certain point, it just reaches like a slurry mixture, like if you were to put salt or sugar or anything concentrated in a dish heavy enough, it'll start to grow. And then this is a druzy pocket. This was just the bottom of a whole pocket that was in there. You can see some of these are hollow. They haven't quite grown together yet, but I bet you they would over time. So, Chalcedony, but it's enough growth to almost be called an agate. Because it's quartz, because all quartz is basically silicate. I understand that everything is made out of the same elements and just swirled together and colored in different interactions with each other. So it's basically the results of all of the elements in the form of minerals interacting that form all the different shades and colors and habits of the rocks and stones. And those are how we classify them, is by the results, not by necessarily what they're made out of, because they all go back to a molten core in the beginning. Right behind this, as I was talking, here's an even thicker layer of chalcedony, completely broken out. Just a slab, more slabbage. You can see the druzy growth on the top there, just a bunch of little crystals. So this would have faced the matrix stone, the mother stone that it was in, the cliff that the crack was in, and it started filling in the crack on this side from there. So this would have been a big crack. This is just a puzzle piece of a layer that filled in there, and it was a cavity, as you can see the top, that wasn't connected to another. Now they grow together all the time, and that's where you see these slabs when we pick them up, and they're double-sided. This is from a big old cavity. Okay. Starting to rain. There's a cool little piece of molten glass, which was at some point from a fire or whatever. But anyhow, it's gotten river rounded here. Wow, I just heard snapping going up the far bank. I would not be surprised if we saw a large creature cross up that side now. Okay. We found the canyon with the sandstone. It's the same color as these. Look at that vein system that was in that one. So I think up here in these rocks, which you can see because the trees are burnt off, in that great sandstone layer is the Chalcedony source. There's mountains of it that this river runs through here. Look at that. Look at the green that came into that quartz. Turned that color. Only in that little zone, and then the rest of this is gray sandstone. That is just some volcanic stuff. This almost looks like it's got little black tourmalines in it, doesn't it? Some sort of other crystal growth in there. He sees you. It's kind of strange, huh? Very strange, that one. Wow, look right here, there's a couple of them. That one's kind of rough surface, but awesome color for a yardstone. I'll show you the little flat areas eventually here where I'm storing my rocks in my garden. And then look at that. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Spot to mount it. It's already painted. Canyon lands. Here is a large network of cracks and fissures that were filled in by Chalcedony, and then it eroded out. You can see how large this stone is. Little druzy pockets in here. It's got a lot of the matrix, the host rock, still stuck with it, but it has some darker agate here too. You never know, it's really dirty. It could have carnelians and stuff in there. Right, those dark spots that are shiny. Or rhyolite, likely trapped with it, a shiny rhyolite. I'll leave that there for the return trip. Wow, it is getting increasingly dark with increasingly more little droplets on us. And so I'm thinking about letting this place back to the wild. Thank you so much for coming with me on these adventures. I hope that you had fun. Happy hunting, and we'll see you at the next spot.